What's up, everybody? This is Jason, Zombie Collector, and man, oh man, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So we all know that it's been crazy out there. It's been crazy out there in the wilderness of retail shops, eBay. I even heard from others that and even myself in the past card shops and card shows were, somewhat reasonable or whatnot. But here in Indiana, at the J&J All-Star Sports Card Show, things have reached a new level of ridiculousness. I wanted to come on here immediately. I want to do it when I was driving, but of course, I didn't want to die in a fiery crash. That's not a good look for me. But I'm literally astonished, and not in a good way, in a completely sick to my stomach, turned off from the hobby kind of way. First of all, for the people who complain about how there's not any social distancing, and people who complain that people don't wear their masks properly, and for people who complain about how you're killing grandma, and people in this own community, by the way, I went to this card show that was in an American Legion, and I would say in a room the size of like a school cafeteria, roughly, there were like hundreds of people in there. Hundreds. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, you were like a sardine in there. That's not including the dealers. And if there wasn't hundreds of people, it felt like there was 100 because there was like no room to walk. So let me get that out of the way for all the people in this community who whine and complain and piss and moan about people not protecting themselves and watching out for others. There is not none of that going on. This is the first card show in Indianapolis in probably like 3 months, 4 months at least. I should say by the specific card show. And this place was packed to the rafters. I mean, you couldn't even fit down the aisles. There were so many people there. So I do not want to hear from anybody in this community ever again about how they're trying to mask shame people and vaccine shame people and all this other stuff, because ain't nobody caring about that. That was the least of their concerns. And I'm not even one person to complain really about that. I actually think some of it gets overtly ridiculous. But I'm not the one that's going around shaming people into trying to shame people into submission. It was absolutely astonishing. So aside from people being packed in like sardines while at the same time complaining about people not social distancing and killing grandma, I was trying to make my way around the show. Now, when I first walked into the show, the people who run this show pretty much have the entire lockdown on wax. They don't let other people sell wax at the show. Now, I know, we all know wax is crazy, and I get that. But I never seen anything like this before. Mind you, I was around in the mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s, where we had all the junk wax boom and everything like that going on. And we're talking about regular wax boxes, hobby boxes, not jumbos, not super selective, hyper low number autograph Hall of Fame cards. We're talking about those regular boxes of cards at, I'm not even kidding you, minimum $250. $250 minimum. But then when you start getting into some of the football and the basketball, I was seeing numbers on wax for $500-$600. I mean, the amount and level of greed is at a level I don't think anyone could imagine. I didn't, and maybe it's just me being naive, and I'll take that. Maybe me being naive and thinking the best of people to be like, there's no way. If you want to put those numbers, if you put that up on online and let people bid it up, that's their decision, because it's not like you said starting out where you're like the bottom line is 500. But that's what's going on in the show. I was just in utter shock at the level of greed, and I mean it doesn't stop there. Okay, you're thinking, okay, Jason's wax, like it's crazy. It's hard to find. People just asking ridiculous prices for it. Okay, let's say I give you that, even though I don't agree with that. I think that the level of greed of that is ridiculous. When you buy a box for $100 or $80 or whatever, even 130, and then you charge $300, $400, $500 for the box, dude, it is ridiculous. We're talking about blasters, and again, I understand blasters are people charging 30, 40. I'm seeing blasters 50, 60, 70, 80, $100. And again, if people sell them on eBay, then whatever, you spend that money on an auction, that's your decision. But when you're at a card show and that's the minimum price you're willing to pay, or you're willing to sell the card for or the box for, I mean, I just wanted to just flip the tables over. I literally contemplated standing in front of everybody and just going off, right in the middle of the place, just talking about how greedy these people were. I just could not believe it. I mean, the place was packed wall to wall with dealers, and so I go to a couple of tables here and there, and I go to this one guy, and his prices were pretty ridiculously expensive. But I'm like, I'll take a look. He's one of the few guys that at that moment didn't have 100 people around his table. So I go to his table, and he has an Ichiro card. And it's a numbered card, low numbered card, but not extremely low, maybe a couple, 200, 300, And he had a price, and it was graded at a 9. Okay. It may be a rookie card. It might be a rookie card year, not a rookie card. I can't remember. And he wanted $80 for the card, and I'm like, "There's no way." And I look it up online. There's that's not even in ballpark. So then he goes, "Oh, you like Ichiro?" I'm like, "Sure, I like Ichiro. Yeah, he's one of my guys I collect." He pulls out a stack of cards, but based off of that one experience right in that moment, I'm like, "Dude, I'm probably not buying anything from this guy." But he was really insistent that I look at his Ichiro cards. I'm like, "Sure, let's take a look." So he gives me a stack. He has a few graded cards, and he has a few ungraded cards. And he gives me I pick out two. I pick out his Fleer Tradition. I want to say a Fleer card. It's with him and somebody Guzman. There's just him on there. Now that card, and both these cards were raw, by the way. And then it was his 2001 Japan All Stars card. It was him and Hasegawa. It was a relic card. I think it was him. It might have been Masato Yoshi, but those are the two cards I'm talking about. Those two cards, raw, online right now, you could probably get $10, $15 at the most, at the absolute most. So you're talking about, even throw shipping in there, you're talking about maybe $20, maybe $25 for both of those cards, raw, by the way, again. So I go, okay, let me, and I know my Ichiro price pretty well because I collect Ichiro. At Ray, I collected not that legit like Ray, but so I'm like, I show him the two cards. I'm like, what do you think on these two cards? He tells me with a straight face, $80. $80 for a low rent Ichiro card. It's one of his low hanging fruit rookie cards, and a relic card he shares with someone else. That's neither one are numbered. Neither one of them are. It's his not anything special cards. It's not like his Topps Chrome. It's not and that's the one with him and Pujols on. It's the most low rent ones. He said with a straight face, $80. I mean, I was just in utter shock. I'm like, this guy. What is this guy on? Is this guy smoking crack right now? Or does he need to go buy some crack so he's selling these cards for this price? And I mean, I almost was like, "You're out of your mind! Like, are you serious right now, dude? Are you seriously telling me that these two cards are $80 with a straight face?" But because I didn't want to make a scene, I literally didn't say a word. I like put the cards back in the stack and just like turned away and just like left the cards, like put the cards in the guy's hand. He just was like looking at me and I just walked away. Like that's all I could do. Like he was, I'm sure he thought I was rude, but I mean, like that to me was a slap in the face. Like you've got to be kidding me, dude. $80 for two low level rookie cards. Well, one's not even neither one of them's not even a rookie card. It's a relic card that's maybe 10, $15 all day long. I mean, it was crazy, guys. Every single graded card I saw of any of the decent ball players, baseball, basketball, football. I mean, we're talking about starting out was like $100, like tickets on the stuff. I mean, I was seeing the hundreds of dollars on these slabs, and I heard people saying stuff like, "Man, it's a good right now. It's a good deal right now. It's a good deal." You gotta pop on this right now. I mean, that was what I heard. I mean, I was only there maybe maybe 15 minutes. I was I was so disgusted. I was so just turned off. I mean, that seriously, I'm done. I'm done with it when it's like this, dude. I will play in my little playground on eBay and get my dollar cards and my budget cards. But that card show has turned me off to the greed of these people. And if you're one of those people that you're seriously, sticking it in and breaking it off on, collectors because all you care about is trying to get more money, then please do yourself a favor and unsubscribe to my channel. You can go screw yourself. I have no interest in having anything to do with you. And I mean, that might be people that I actually are friends with or cool, but that level of greed has flipped a switch in my mind of going like, I have no desire to be associated with people like that. It is absolutely, positively the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a hobby. I mean, these kids were trying to get people's attention. They're like, there was a ton of kids there. So I agree with people saying like kids are getting into the hobby right now, but and that's great, and I 100% support that. And I wish there would be like even more. But the dealers, they weren't even paying attention to the kids. They just ignoring those kids because they knew those kids did not have any money, not any real money, or not for the money for the stuff they want. They were ignoring the kids. They were just looking at the big swinging dudes in there with the money thrown around. That's who they were caring about. These kids were like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir," and they weren't even paying attention. Like they didn't even exist. Like that was my kid, and he came in. And he was trying to get somebody's attention, and he was getting blown off by the dealer because he's thinking, "Oh, some 12-year-old kid's not going to have a couple $100 burning a hole in his pocket. I got to look for the adults in the room." I mean, then I would have said something. Then I would have like made a scene. I mean, like, some of these kids were like 8 years old, 9 years old. They're like, "Excuse me, sir, can I look at this Patrick Mahomes? Excuse me, sir, can I see this LeBron James or whatever?" And they were like just ignoring these children because they're like, well, there's no way they can afford this $80 card, this $30 card, this $150 card, this $800 card. So they were just ignoring these poor kids. I mean, and I was only there for a few minutes. And this was multiple dealers and multiple tables, and I was witnessing this. I mean, I go to these guys' tables who it looks like it's a yard sale at their table, which I've talked about this before. They have all this cards spread out, and it looks like a hot mess. It's like they just took the cards and just threw it up in the air and just let them fall down on their table. And they were like asking, I mean, prices that would make a hooker blush. It was just like unbelievable. I mean, I even saw a guy who had some wrestling cards, raw wrestling cards, and he had like each one of the cards. And we're talking about, I think it was like the Cardinal set or the classic cards, the ones with the yellow borders. Hey, hey man, I'm not trying to purposely ignore you guys. I'm just like focused on what I want to share. But I appreciate it, Gary, for popping in. Mark, thanks man for popping in. I don't want to ignore you guys, but I'm just so beside myself. But the guy was selling like the cards right now, and I mean, again, I've been watching lots of wrestling cards recently. He had like on the second tier, third tier wrestling cards, $20, $30 a pop on the raw cards. You know, it's unbelievable. Hey, what's up, Schmidt? I mean, like I'm seriously angry about this whole thing. I could not believe. I mean, I expect that on eBay. I expect that in Facebook groups. And that I mean that people go there, doing that. But when you're at a card show and everybody is in the business of like screwing over the collectors and like completely just in full greed mode, it just takes the fun out of the hobby. I'm gonna speak for myself, and other people could, you can agree or disagree. Quite frankly, I do not care. But I have completely changed my view of a lot of what's going on right now. Is like these people that I knew. These are collectors I knew, dealers that I knew, and now all they see is dollar signs. Like they're just completely like engorged in greed. Um, sorry, business prices is money, and whether it's $1 or $100, each transaction is important. You don't make as much as the dollar cards. Yeah, and I agree with that. I would agree with that, David. But you're not seeing that. I mean, yes, there were some tables that had, um, you know, what do you call them, like dollar boxes and quarter boxes. They had, they were like, there were some guys there. I'm not making it sound like every single solitary table had no possible deals, but we're talking about like that was the exception and definitely not the rule. It was something that I've never seen that level of greed. It was just, I mean, I just cannot get over it. If you have not been to a card show, and maybe your experience will be different, I sure hope it is. But it is like looking these people in the eye and them telling you with a straight face that these cards are 30, 40, 50% higher at the show than on eBay, and eBay's prices are ridiculous right now, as we all know. I mean, that should take us all, sit us back a bit, and really rethink our hobby and our approach to this hobby. Yeah, exactly, Schmidt. So I mean, because at the end of the day, and I practice what I preach. I did not spend a penny there because I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. I do not want to encourage that type of behavior. Am I perfect? No, I'm sure I do that from time to time. I'm sure that there's times I've bought cards or from people that do these type of things, but I don't go in that deep. Like, I'm not spending 50, 60, 70, 80, $90 on a break or $100 on a break to encourage these people to buy these $300, $400 boxes of cards or whatever. We're talking about I'll go spend like $12, $20, which is the going rate before all this a lot of times going on to get in on a break. I'm not trying to like get $100 for the Padres box break to get to do this. I'm just not doing that kind of stuff. Now, definitely not going to a card show with my own money and encouraging these people to continue to screw the customers over, fans over, collectors over. And I understand, like, yeah, you're making money, it's a business, that's fine. And you can approach it however you want, but then you have to be prepared for the people like myself who feel like you're just completely breaking it off in us and taking advantage of the situation and try to like justify these prices and these actions that you're doing. That's fine. You can sleep if you sleep fine at night knowing that you're literally like screwing people over. Like, and I don't even care about like the aspect of like, well, this is all about, flipping and blah, 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 this, that, or the other. It's prospecting and all this. That's fine. But at some point, I really hope these people get caught holding the bag. I mean, I really do. I hope they spend tens of thousands of dollars, and then like it just completely just breaks, busts open, or some player just comes up like completely piece of garbage player. He can't play. He was awful. I don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want to wish that on any player. But their game is awful. Like they are just like it was all smoke and mirrors, and the guy's a complete bum. I really do. I wish all these people just get caught holding the bag so badly because then right serves them right. And it is this. People were acting like they had halfway decent. Were halfway decent. Then I'll be fine. Like they kept it within the realm of respectability of these costs. Then okay, fine. If you want to pay a little bit of a premium to get a card or a box, okay, fine. That's been the case. But when you're talking about 100-time markups or whatever, it stops being fun and turned into like I'm being robbed. Like I felt like some of these guys are walking around with guns and robbing us. But a lot of the people were willing participants in getting robbed. Like I'm not one to get pistol whipped and then go, thank you, can I have another? That's not my thing. Yeah, you're right, Schmidt. I mean, that's true. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, you stick with what you know, and you start like feeling out the dealers, right? You feel strongly about a certain player, a certain product that you know, then you can kind of do like a litmus test of like, what are these people trying to charge for that player, that product, or whatever. So you kind of get an idea. You test the waters, you gauge the temperature of the pricing or of the fervor that there might be going on, and it was at a level that has never been seen before, at least by me at the show. And I've said before in the past, like I used to put this show over, and like people were really reasonable, they were really willing to wheel and deal, but that was before all this happened. And you can say, well, it's because everybody's been, cooped up over the last 4, 5, 6 months because of winter, because of COVID, and all that kind of stuff. And people just, no. There is no excuse for this level of greed, in my personal opinion. You can disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. But I can no longer deal with that. I cannot do it, and I'm not going to support people who do that level of greed anymore. So I this is one of those. I haven't done one in a while, but I am asking if you're a POS seller or flipper and you're purposely charging people, ludicrous prices on product because you just think you can get away with that, then please do yourself a favor and me a favor and unsubscribe to my channel. Go take a long walk of a short pier. I hope the bubble bursts and you're left holding tens of thousands of dollars that you're never going to be able to sell. And then that hopefully teaches you a lesson, the way you're treating other people, because it is a level of greed that is unbelievable. And I just cannot wrap my mind around it. This is Indiana. This is not New York. This is not California. It's not Chicago. I mean, this is Indiana, outside of Indianapolis, Indiana, small town Indiana. And these people were like treating everybody that they're like, everybody act like everybody thought they were Gary Vee, or they're treating everybody like they're Gary Vee, and that they had an unlimited amount of money. And that, the prices were the prices. And I'm like, if you're going to charge people those kind of prices, just stick to eBay. Just stick to eBay, because apparently that's where people go to make most of their money on there, or a version of eBay, whatever might be the hot new thing popping off right now that I'm not aware of. Because quite frankly, I don't care. But I can tell you, after that experience today, I have no interest in doing any more shows, shops. I'm kind of done. I will be doing my little thing on my little channel with my little eBay purchases, or like little group breaks or box breaks for my $20 a spot or whatever, just to have some fun moving forward. I'm not doing this anymore. That completely have soured me on the entire experience now. I'm just beside myself. Like, I mean, I know now at this point I'm kind of talking in circles, and I'm aware of that. But I mean, can you imagine? Like, I woke up this. Can you just put yourself in any of our shoes, right? You haven't been able to go to a show for months, right? Because of either you don't have an opportunity to go to a show, or because of the pandemic, or whatever. Fill the blank excuse. You finally get to go to a show. You're so excited. So excited. I like jumped up this morning, fixed breakfast for me and Luca, got ready, out the door. I wanted to miss the crowd, so I show up at like a little after 10 o'clock. The thing starts at 8. And as anybody knows about most card shows, is that the busiest time is the first hour, maybe to 2 hours, and then it kind of wanes off, and then at the end it's kind of like it's dead, generally speaking. So the show ends at like 1 or 2. So I guess about middle time of the show, a little after 10 o'clock. Like I said, it's packed. It's like literally packed like sardines. I was completely caught off guard at how many people were. So many people. I mean, I saw the parking lot was really full, but I was like, well, okay. No, it was packed because inside it was even more packed. And then, like I said, just the amount of absurdity of the prices of cards. I can't believe it. So I mean, talking about having your balloon popped as soon as you walk in, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people here. Which you would think with all these elderly people in there that were dealers and like buyers or whatever. We're talking about people who are like older than your grandpa walking around in there. They weren't concerned about no Rona. They were just doing their thing. They could care less with their masks hanging off their faces and down off their noses and all this stuff that people piss and moan about that were, young people are killing all these old people or whatever. They didn't care. So I'm walking around and I see these prices and I'm like, whoa, boy, these are some pretty hefty prices. Surely not everybody's like that. You're going to always have some tables like that. It can't be everybody. But lo and behold, it was. It was literally everybody was like that. Even the guys, like I said, they had yard sale tables. And the wax, and they're a card shop in town. The guys who run the show are the guys who are the main shop in I would say in Indiana, but definitely in Indianapolis. I mean, they were charging ridiculous prices, like I said at the beginning of this video, for wax. And you might say, unless they go on price of wax, then that's ridiculous. And we're talking about a hobby box. A hobby box is $250 for just a regular hobby box of cards. For baseball Topps 2021, $250. I mean, basketball was like $300, $400, $500. I saw some at $600. I saw one product like $850. Prices aren't that big of a deal as much, Well, I mean, again, David, if you want to continue to spend your money on that stuff, that's fine. If you want to encourage that type of behavior, that's fine. I'm talking about me personally and how this is ridiculous, but it goes back to what I've said before, which is the only people who are responsible for this is people like us, because people like us are spending the money at these type of prices. If people would stop doing that and take a step back and take a breath and go, you know what? There is almost no possible way to recoup your money loss that you're going to receive out of opening this box of cards. But we're going to do it anyways with the hopes of hitting that 1 of 1 or that autograph or that super fractor atomic bomb drop nitroglycerin drip autograph 1 of 1 or whatever. Then, you're just pissing your money away, literally. And I mean, yes, you hear those stories like, oh, I bought this, Jordan at like $120 and now it's 230 and all this stuff. You hear stuff like that all the time. Okay, fine. But when we're talking about like an 8th Jordan or a year, like a 10th year Jordan card starting to go for that kind of money, it's like, are you seriously thinking that's going to be normal? Like, and when you say yes, that has to be a joke. Like, that's not going to be normal. Like his rookie cards, of course. Like autographs, sure. Rare cards, okay. We're talking about his regular like 1992 Fleer card or whatever. Like, come on now. Like I was just with the Ichiro cards, like in that exact situation. His low end rookie card, Fleer rookie card, he shares with all the Esteban Gunez or whatever. The guy was trying to tell me it was $40 for a raw card. That card online right now, maybe $10. But the thing is, these people just do not care because why? Because there's a bunch of schmucks and morons and idiots in this community who's like, oh, that's a good deal. I'm gonna buy that car. I'm gonna flip that car for 80 or 120. Look at me. I'm gonna get that car great. It'll be $300. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Is that cars that just we know in the back of our minds are not worth that kind of money. We're justifying it and spending that kind of money to encourage this type of behavior to continue. But then to think that somehow we're going to be able to take that $40 raw card, spend another 20 or whatever to get it graded. So now you're into it $60. Hopefully it gets a 10. More than likely it's not. And then think you're going to somehow be able to make some money off the card. And so what? You get $4 off the card, $5? Sure, I guess that's a profit. That's a lot of work and hassle for a $4, $5, $10 profit. Maybe if you do that 100 times over, what? We got $100 now. That seems like a lot of work on one person's end to do that much of flipping, to think you're going to make that kind of money. And for maybe you catch one diamond in the rough. And some people, it's like it's a sickness. That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping they can spend big to make big money. But guess what? That's going to be on them, because more than likely, that ain't going to work out to your benefit. You might get lucky once in a while. Every squirrel gets a nut. A lot of times they fall out of a tree after they get electrocuted and hit the ground. You know? Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. I mean, that is true. But the thing is, and that is true, and I agree with you on that, Gary. But the thing is that I don't know, man. I guess the thing, and I understand, like, if I don't know. I mean, I just think that kind of behavior, because it's not just the new guys. There's not enough of the new guys to that would constitute what's happening. I'm telling you, I saw with my own eyes. It was not just new guys. Like, these are guys that have been around forever, guys I've seen for years. These are dealers I've seen for years. So, but I mean, I'm just like, and I mean, like I said, I mean, I would say that, I mean, you're right. Some of the big ballers are the new guys, and that definitely is driving what this is. And I would completely agree. But that can't be the only thing what's going on, for sure. Yeah, and I agree. And I agree with you, Mark and David. Yeah, you're both exactly right. It's like, the bubble will burst, they get stuck with that inventory, and then we can come in like, thieves in the night and get them for pennies on the dollar. And that's what I hope so. I hope so. But I mean, like, it is absolute ludicrous at what I saw today. I think what it was surprising to me is that, you hear about the ridiculousness of people who will stand in line or get into an altercation at like a Target or a Meijer or a Walmart or Walgreens or wherever they can find wax, so they can charge 3, 4, 5 times as much on the secondary market. But and I mean, because they can do it on eBay, or they'll do like things like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. But then when you go to a show, you're thinking like, there is no way that it would be that level of nonsense. But guess what? It was exactly that level of nonsense. And I'm sure it was just me being naive, thinking like, there's no way that some of these people would truly screw the fans, the collectors, the people who just treat this as a hobby that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're like, you know what? If you don't want to pay, keep on walking. And I agree with that. I mean, if you put a price on it that people don't want to pay, okay, somebody will either buy it or they won't. And I mean, okay, fine. But it's not just like, and again, I get that on like a couple cars. Like, I totally understand. Like, you're not just going to give away, a high priced rookie card or a all-star superstar card just because you want to be a good guy. Like, I totally get that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like every card. We're talking about every card. It was any car that had any type of potential value or suspected value or whatever, like, it was at the highest level of cost, highest level. And before they'd be like, okay, let's wheel and deal, let's work this out, let's get the deal done. Now it's like, no, these are the prices. This whatever, fill in the blank, You know, I don't even know what. Like you just like pick it. Like this Tatis insert card is now just $15. Just what it is. And you're like, that card is probably $1, maybe a couple dollars best. But it's like, no, he's hot right now. I don't want to. I don't want to miss out on possibly this card going up in cost. So I'm putting it at the $15 mark. Take it or leave it. I mean, we're. I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now with stuff. It just, you know, it just it was just mind-boggling. I know it's just really, really a sad state of affairs. And like I said, I'm sure 95% of it is just my own assumptions that there surely cannot be that everybody was that way, like every dealer, every person you come in contact with. But yes, that was exactly what it was. Yeah, so it's really disappointed. So I will be happy with my new approach more than ever because I was hoping for the best in people, thinking that there's no way people can be this way. We'll be able to work out deals and meet in the middle on costs and cards and things. But no, that's not what's happening right now. Right now is all about how much can I squeeze you on to get as much money as I can out of you. And I'm not going to stop squeezing. I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can to get as much as I can out of you. So, you know, and unlike OJ, I don't want to be squeezed. So, guys, my PSA to you is that don't be part of the problem. Collect as a hobby and not as it's like a business, like you're trying to do the stock market. Because I just think at this point, if you're continuing to help people like this, then we're never going to get out of this. We're never going to get out of this. It's going to be going on for months, years longer. Like, we kept waiting for it to end all last year. Here we are in March, essentially. And it feels like it is never, it's like a freight train that's going 100 miles an hour. And there's plenty of track that's ahead of it. There's no cliff for it. It's like this, like Snowpiercer. There's no cliff that is going to fly off. It's just going to keep on going around and around and around. And there's no end in sight. It just makes me sick to my stomach that people with a straight face, both here on YouTube, on eBay, at card shows, at card shops, whatever, feels like they can justifiably look at you in the eye and say, this card is worth what I'm telling you it's worth. Even though in your mind it's not, you're like, but you tell yourself, well, it could be. So I better get it now because it's the whole FOMO thing, which I used to hate. And now, but it turned into the truth because everybody's scared that they're going to miss out on something. So they're like, I'm going to buy it now. Like the prevailing wisdom right now in the hobby is that this is a good price because it's only going to go up. So people convince themselves that a Hank Aaron rookie card or whatever at a low level is $3,000 for a 1 or a 2 or whatever. That's a good deal because it's only going to go up. But my understanding is, based off of what I've heard from other people say, is like those prices are already coming down on like the Hank Aaron as just an example. And you think that's not going to be going across the board? No, it's going to eventually do that. But especially with the modern day stuff, it's ridiculous. And I mean, I wasn't even looking. I mean, like the stuff I was looking at was Ichiro's rookie card. It was not modern day, 2001, right? 20 years ago. So, and this guy tells me $40, and I'm like, dude, I mean, like seriously. I mean, I know I look like an idiot, but I'm not one. So, guys, don't be that person. Don't be that person. If you are that person, if you're looking to take advantage of others, if all of us like you as like little walking dollar bill signs that you're going to try to get as much cash out of us as possible, then I want you to do me a favor and unsubscribe to my channel. Don't talk to me. Don't have nothing to do with me. You can go your merry way, and I will do the same. If all we look like to you is opportunities to make money off of, then I don't want nothing to do with you. And I obviously probably don't even know who you are or your channel because I don't watch channels like that. but I definitely don't want to be associated with people like that. Please do me a favor. I'll be more than happy to go down to 200 subscribers or 20 subscribers. It does not matter to me. So if all of a sudden my subscribers crater, fine. That's fine. Because I cannot stand people who just look at each other as just walking dollar bill signs that you want to take advantage of because you think that, that's all you want. That's the reason. And I mean, that's what's going on right now. There's all this happening. It's like everybody thinks they can try to get some money off of each other. That's why you have all these auctions popping up all the time and all these box breaks and pack breaks all the time going on. They're trying to get as many people, to buy into their channels and their breaks or whatever. And it's like, you're not even friends with these people. These people are not your buddies. They're just trying to make money off of you. It's after I saw today at the most local level, the most level of just, people who literally live next door to me level of of greed and just looking at you like you're just excuse me, all they care about is what can you give me financially. And if the price I give you is not acceptable, then you're the one who has the problem. It's not even like they even think they're the ones who have the problem for asking the ridiculous prices that they're asking. They're like, oh no, that's a good deal. I heard that the whopping 15, 20 minutes I was at that show, I had heard that multiple times saying, oh, this is a good deal. No, it's not a good deal. It's not a good deal. Somebody telling me that a low end rookie card of Ichiro that's raw, that has no what kind of potential is $40 is ridiculous. I want to punch that person right in the throat. So quite honestly, David, I hope it does. I hope it breaks open. I came here to hear what nothing to do with you. Thanks, Diego. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, man, love your hobby, dude. As Garrett said, which I pretty like, it's hashtag my hobby. There's some truth to all those statements, love your hobby. But it's really hard to love your hobby when you have an active force of people trying to take advantage of you at every turn. I mean, that's the truth. Think about it. Think about it. Every turn that you find is they're trying to take advantage of you as the consumer. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, your friends and their auctions and all this kind of stuff. The prices are getting ridiculous. Card shows, card shops. It's all everybody's into making the money right now. No one is looking at it from a perspective of how can I not look like a total douchebag at this point, But that's my point, is that you can sell it for whatever you want. Like a Jordan rookie card, I'm not questioning a Jordan rookie card, dude. I get that, Jimmy. I'm not questioning stuff like that. I'm talking about random, unproven products and players and low end, almost forgettable products that they're trying to get the most money from you as possible. And it's across the board. I'm not talking about the Michael Jordan rookie card. Of course, you would be a dummy to not try to make money off of something like that if you wanted to sell it. But I mean, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about unproven products and players that people are trying to milk each other for. When you're selling Topps Holiday 2020 products for $80, it's come on, man. Seriously? Let's get real here. Well, I'm not saying that guys on YouTube are just driving, but I'm not. It's not just YouTube. It's eBay. It's card shows, card shops. It's Facebook Marketplace. It's whatever. I mean, of course, it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not. But the thing is, yeah. But YouTube, and I'm not saying people like you, Jimmy. I mean, I participated in a box break a couple days ago. I will be doing another one. But I mean, they're doing it at a reasonable price, and you're a good guy, Jimmy. Like I said, this is not towards specifically guys who do auctions. We're talking about guys who aren't committed to anybody except for themselves. We've had this conversation. I know that we both, I think, are on the same page with that, where they don't care about anybody but themselves. and they just look at everybody as like dollar signs. I know that's not you. I know that's not like a few people in this community, that they just use these people to make money off of them, and that's all they use them for. They don't use them for any other thing. They just use them as like little opportunities to, get some scratch off of. That's my problem. If you want to make some money and your people, like I said, it's an auction. If people go to an auction and like, you do an auction today, I think you'll do one tonight if I'm not mistaken. And if you set the price at $5 and the thing sells for $150, well, then good on you. It's not like you said, well, I'm not selling this for less than $150. If you don't like it, tough, then that's a different story. Like, that's my problem with the way things. I saw this card at the card show. That's translated into a lot of times with like certain YouTubers, whatever the case may be, on eBay, whatever. Like, I reached out to a couple of people on eBay that I bought off of, and I was like, hey, would you be willing to work me a deal? You have some other stuff I'm interested in. And they're just like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, dude, I'm not telling you give it to me for free. I'm not saying like don't charge me for something, but they're just like unwilling to work with you because they think that they might get that extra couple bucks off that card, so they're not willing to work with you. Now, of course, is that every eBay person? No, of course not. But I used to be able to do that all the time. Like, hey man, I see that you have this, this, and this. Will you be willing to work me a package deal? No. But it used to be like, sure, can I let's say everything's 30. Okay, that's fair. Now it's like, no, because I might be able to make 35. I could make 37 off of that, so absolutely not. Because I want to get that extra $3 off of somebody else. Maybe. And that's where we're at right now. That's my problem right now. Not the guy who just says, hey, I'm starting this auction at $1. Where it goes, oh, I got $3 off of it. Okay, that kind of sucks. I had 8 in it. But then the next card you might sell, Jimmy, or whoever, you put 5 and it sells for, 85 and you had 10 in it. So, I get that, but I'm like, the thing is where you're not willing to work with people. You know what I'm saying? Like eBay people, the card show I just came back from was like completely shocked, shocked. Sorry, I need to go back and look. At what David said. Yeah, I kind of hope it bursts, but there's one. Honestly, and I feel I kind of like what the Joker says. I want it all to. I think maybe it's a Joker. I want it all to burn. Quite frankly, I kind of do. I want it all to burn. Because I'm not that person. I'm not worried about me losing my butt or my finances or my house or my car or my savings account or my credit card, because I'm not that guy. So I hope it does all burn to the ground. Yeah, man, exactly, Jeremy. Like I said, dude, people might think you and I sometimes like butt heads, but I think you and I get along fine, and I like your style. Again, guys who are in the community who do auctions that are good guys that like have relationships with people who would do more than just auctions, who try to help each other out. And you can't control what people are going to bid on something. That's fine. I'm not questioning that. I'm talking about the level of decency that people treat each other at this point is getting ridiculous. Like now, like I said, everybody's a walking dollar sign for everybody. It is. It's just. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Exactly. Hey, what up, Hot Corner Collection? I appreciate you popping in, dude. Let's see what I missed. I missed what Jimmy said here. Oh man, you all. I must have been missed all kinds of stuff. I had a guy in the show last year offer me $3K for a Jordan LeBron dual auto. Wow, okay. When I said no, he said, "Well, if you ever start doing drugs, come back." Gosh, yeah. Stuff like, again, guys. When it comes to like goat cards, like I totally understand it, dude. Like, there's seems no roof on some of that stuff. But not but everybody's treating. This is the problem, or the problem I'm seeing is everybody's treating a LeBron Jordan autograph card or a LeBron rookie or a Jordan rookie. They're treating every card like it could be that card, and that is not at all the case. But we are conditioning ourselves to believe that actually could be happening. Like we all think every card that we might hold in our hand, a Jason Dominguez card or a Fernando Tatis or an Acuna card, could be the next card that's a Jordan that's $50,000 or $100,000 or just even $1,000. it gets starting to get ridiculous because that is not the case for 99.9% of cards. But people are starting to think that every one of their cards could be that card. And I'll offer me 900. Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up, guys. Sorry. You guys are all of a sudden everybody started talking. Now everybody's really talking. I'm missing out. I'm sorry. Exactly. This isn't long-term money. This is a new. That's true. That's true, Gary. This is a new money driving the hobby. Yeah, dude, Jimmy, you're a good guy, dude. That's not new. That's not new. Yeah, those are rebate cards are not new. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Okay. Which is fine, been a long time, no problem saying that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, baby. I know you're talking about zigging and zagging, baby. Garrett, that's right. Yeah, I think there's a major reason why I started cutting the rest of the prices were cheap. Yeah, they were cheap. You're right, dude. And I don't know if you saw or when I started talking. I mean, like there's some of the cards now on the wrestling are getting ridiculous too. You know, it's just crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to like make sure I don't drop my phone because that's been a problem I've been having recently, but probably not. But yeah, I mean, a lot of that's what's going on is what's happening, and I agree with a lot of what you are saying. Is you got to zig when everybody's zagging, or zag when everybody's zigging. I get all that, you know, like what Jenny was saying, like the housing market, there's ups and downs and all that. And you still can sell. You also got to hold. But I think that the thing is that a housing market, I guess I look at it is a little different because, you know, you can kind of pick and choose the area you want to be in a house, right? Like if you don't want to spend $100,000 on a house or $300,000 on a house, you have some options. But if you like cards right now, like if you want to collect anything that might actually be a PC item or a thing that you really enjoy, those cards, almost everything across the board is more crazy than not. I mean, wax, packs, singles, vintage, rookie cards, inserts. So unless you're collecting a semi-star base card, you're probably going to end up having to spend money on the card more than normal. I mean, it's like even like I've heard people say recently, like even like just the junk wax rookie or junk wax, semi-star cards where you can start selling for 25 cents and 50 cents a dollar. And it's like, do what? Like a Jose Canseco All-Star 90s card can sell for $1 right now in a lot of places. It's like, you got to scratch your head and be like, are we like that card 8 months ago was a nickel? I mean, what is this like? It's crazy. But like what Jimmy was saying is true. You just gotta, I'm sorry, Gary was saying, you gotta just kind of be on the sidelines right now with a lot of this stuff. And I just hate feeling like I have to be on the sidelines when I just want to go. I mean, I had money to spend. I had hundreds. I was gonna go spend I had like $250. I thought about spending today. I had a tax return check. I had some extra money. I paid my bills. I was ready to spend some money, but I was so disgusted. Like $250 for some people, that's like chump change. That's okay. But I was feeling frisky. I was feeling a little bit frisky in my whiskey. And I was ready to go. And guess what? Got a big old kick in the nuts. So it's just like, and that just is very frustrating because I wasn't going in there trying to be like, I'm only gonna be able to spend $20. It's so silly. I think so, Mark. I think that show's tomorrow, Mark. Are you going to that show? I want to say it's tomorrow. I could be wrong. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe their first show's back in March. I can't remember. I was Ron. I was feeling froggy and I was ready to jump. But I mean, Mark, it is kind of a different crowd at Archie's show. I like to think that. But I mean, some of these guys that were at the J&J All-Star show also bless you, also go to Archie's show. So I mean, if that's any indication, I'm kind of nervous, dude. Yeah, let's do some leg wrestling, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just like, oh my god. I'm just like, oh, it's just so frustrating, like, guys. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gonna go to the show, Ron? Hey Jimmy, I don't know if you're asking to pop on. I would do it, but I actually got to get off here in a few minutes. My son has a basketball game, so I need to bring you on. You get on for like 10 minutes, then I got to get off. I feel like that's kind of a douchey thing to do. Though if you want to, I'm more than happy to have anybody hop on and hang out with me. But it would only be for a few minutes. But we could definitely do it later on this afternoon before your live stream if you want. I know you do your auctions tonight, or we could do it Sunday if you want. I would love to have you on and we can get on there. We can talk all kinds of drama. We can do like I'll just like tagline the thing like, hey, completely 100% nothing but drama episode of me with Jimmy Guns. That would definitely bring the butts in the seats for sure. Yeah, dude, for sure. We definitely gotta go. We gotta go live, dude. Leg wrestle, yeah, dude. Well, if it wouldn't be with me, Ron, it wouldn't be sword fighting. We wouldn't be able to do no sword fighting with me. It'd be more like a daggers. Let's be honest here. It's a dagger, not a sword. So, oh, that's cool. That's cool, Garrett. It is cool when you find people who there's a few people that like my son's buddies' dads found out I'm a card collector. I actually hung out with one of them and took them to a couple of card shows before. So it is kind of cool to meet up with people that are actually in your own personal community and get to hang out with them. So that is cool. Yeah, Mark, I don't know, man. I wanna be positive about it, but I just don't know, dude. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jimmy. So like I said, I know, like it's just me whining, and I get it. Like I know it's just me complaining, and I get it. But I just want to be honest with people as my personal, hot take, whatever. I'm sure a lot of us feel the same way, and it is frustrating because sure, I sell cards once in a great while. You know, but I also sell DVDs. I'm always like looking to make a little bit extra money, but like I put it up on eBay. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like if like Ron reached out to me and was like, hey, I see that you have such and such card. Would you be willing to work me a deal? Like I would work him a deal. I would not try to take advantage of him. And I feel like so much of it now is just like, and maybe not even take advantage. You're just not willing to work with people. Like that's my problem. It's like people just like not gonna willing to work with you because they think they can squeeze a few extra dollars out of somebody else. And I mean that's just the thing that the level, the amount of greed is the problem I have with everything. If you throw something up on an auction and it sells, man, more power to you. Like I mean, I sold a Michael Jordan, two Michael Jordans past week, and neither one of them went for crazy money. I thought I'd get a lot more out of them. I got way more than I thought I would. But I was hoping to get more. Not it didn't happen. It was okay. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? It was an auction. I rolled the dice. Next time I put something up, maybe I'll have a better experience. But I can't get mad at it if it's an auction. Like I said, it is what it is. But it is. Yeah, I do. I agree with you, Jimmy. 100%. I'll throw that comment up there because it's true. It is true. I mean, it's 100% accurate, dude. Well, where's our everybody? I don't know what's going on with Diego, but I'm sorry. Whatever's going on, maybe it's like somebody in your life might be sick. So I am sorry. Sorry about that, dude. Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on, Diego. So yeah, I didn't know what that was about. I'm like, what just happened? I just took a turn. I mean, I am sorry. Whatever's going on, I'm definitely sorry, for sure. But I do agree with what Jimmy said, dude. I mean, Gary and I are a good example of that. Actually, Jimmy and I are a good example of that. Like, we might have our differences about some things, talk about it. Like, both dudes are like stand up guys. I mean, like, really manly men, have a problem. We talk about it, we worked it out. Not that we're gonna hold hands and do each other's hair and sing "Kumbaya" necessarily, but you know, it's like it's cool, man. We're able to have a good conversation and be cool and you know understand one another and agree with and see where each other's coming from and agree to disagree. It's awesome. You know, not everything has to be you know this feels the same without a doubt. So I think it's cool. But yeah, man. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and get off here. It's been an hour. It's an hour of me whining and moaning and complaining. That's enough for everybody. I appreciate everybody hanging out, watching with me, and maybe we'll get together here soon. And well, maybe I'll try to get Garrett on, try to get Jimmy on. We'll try to do something. I'll get on their channel, whatever, and we'll have some real fireworks. We're not talking about the Katy Perry kind of fireworks either. But thanks, Garrett. Classy dude as always. Until next time, peace out.